welcome back, all you lovely YouTube gamers. We are checking out the Steep beta, as it was just had its closed beta this weekend. I believe it was a closed beta. But here's my first peek, my first look, and my first thoughts on this game. And I gotta say, like, I'm showing all the intro stuff. Oh man, excuse me, sorry about that, just got the eating. But I'm showing you all this intro stuff because the game looks beautiful, and by beautiful I mean you could just see right here during this actual gameplay footage right now, the views, the graphics and everything look amazing. And yes, this isn't full 1080p, something that I don't really record in, but I had to just to show how great this game looks. This game is made by Ubisoft, the same people who brought you so many countless games, but more importantly, the game I want to focus on, they brought us The Crew. And this game pretty much has the same build, the same feel as The Crew, essentially. As you can see, it has a massive landscape just like The Crew does, from which you can explore freely. You can also fast travel to certain points on the map too. They have certain challenges you can just fast travel to. But also, it's a very open world in the sense that, just like you saw those few other characters pop up, those are actually online players playing in the same world as you. So you're not the only one on the mountain, and you're not surrounded by complete AI characters. These are all real people playing online with you at the same in real time. And I decided I wanted to just go ahead and show the massiveness of this open world by first doing the wingsuit, and then after this I'm going to be doing the snowboard. But I want to talk about my first initial parts of this game. First of all, the tutorial was actually pretty extensive, but pretty long. But there's a lot in the game that, even though they cover the basics, they don't really cover the advanced stuff. I still don't know what drop points are in the game, and I keep getting the little icon saying that, or the little warning message saying you're close to a drop point. But they do cover how to change between your methods of transportation, whether you're on foot, if you want to switch to your snowboard, you want to switch to your snow skis, you want to switch to your wingsuit, you want to switch to your parasail. I mean, they show you how to do all that. They show you like the different courses that you'll be taking for the, and of course they show, like, you know, on the different courses you take, it has a little icon over what method of travel you can use for that course, and it's usually snowboarding and skis usually go together hand in hand. Some might be snowboarding only, some might be skis only. Of course, if you can only use the wingsuit, and of course you can only use the wingsuit, you can only use parasail, you can only use the parasail. I haven't seen any of them to which the wingsuit and the snowboard or snow skis are pairing, which says you can do either or. Same with the parasail. I haven't seen one where you could do parasail, snowboard, snow skis, and I haven't even seen one where you could actually do parasails or wingsuit. But they both handle very differently, all of them handle very differently, except for the snow skis and the snowboard. They're almost the same, just a few small differences, but the parasail, of course, you're more of, you have less control. You just adjust accordingly with wherever the wind carries you. With the wingsuit, you have a lot more control because the suit that you're wearing is your right of choice, and so since it's on your body, you actually have a lot more control over where you go and all that. And the only thing that affects it is obviously gravity and how close you are to the ground. And I did record several pieces of me playing on the different modes, the different, I guess, I don't want to say vehicles, I say modes of transportation because that's essentially what they are. The different ways that you could actually traverse the mountain. And so let me see. But yeah, you could, it has all of that. I did all that just to see how it all handled, how it all felt. The snowboard to me is definitely the easiest one to do. You do start out with it in the tutorial, and it's one of the few things that you actually play with a lot in the tutorial. I actually didn't use the snow skis at all until I decided I'm going to try out snow skis. but the snowboard is obviously one of the better forms of it. It's very easy to handle, surprisingly, and the environments are actually pretty forgiving. As far as if you were to like go over a tree or a rock, as long as you have like the right thing equipped, you're pretty much guaranteed to not have your momentum completely stopped unless you're going way too fast and you hit something completely solid and dead on. And if you brush right by it, it's going to hurt, it's going to suck, you're going to travel down, but then you get right back up and it's just, that's pretty much it. I mean, and on this run right here, you'll see that I even get a in-game award for 6 miles traveled uninterrupted, you know. And this is me taking the same route that I did with the wingsuit, but I'm actually on the snow on the mountain, taking pretty much the exact path. But yeah, this is mainly to show you how easy it is in both ways to go to traverse this mountain and just enjoy the game overall. I want to say that even this is not like the crew in the sense that there is, I don't know if there's going to be a story, but for the online play, I don't think you'll be able to build a crew like you do in the crew, but just the fact that it's an open world, you can explore it as you will, you can do what you will with it. There is a somewhat story, it's almost like a career progression mode, essentially. And it's kind of like, I haven't really played any Tony Hawk or any like Shaun White games or what have you. I think the closest thing I played to was Sledstorm. And Sledstorm itself was, you know, and kind of like an indie, not really indie game, but almost like a cult classic game, where you're just snowmobiles racing. And just my little experience from that helped me out a lot, and I was actually able to understand this game and enjoy it a lot. But not having that Tony Hawk background didn't hinder me, but there's like a really good Tony Hawk feel to it, especially from what I've seen with friends, the career progression mode too. So it's pretty much has a good niche feel for its audience that it's trying to go for. I mean, even if you just pick this game up to give it a try, you might like it. You'll probably get like just blow through the career mode pretty fast and then never really play the game again. If you're someone like me who actually had fun exploring the environments, like I will probably blow through the career mode and then I'll probably just go through exploring, because there are certain things, just like in the crew, like certain hidden resorts, hidden places that you can actually find, and they're essentially your collectibles, as far as what the beta has shown. And also the key points and everything else on the game. It's very, very interesting to see it, to experience it all and see it how it handles, and just to be able to enjoy it through whatever means necessary I want to through this game. There was one race that actually was like almost telling a story, but it was like part of the progression thing. You know, there was a story for that behind the race, where it was actually, or the guide, where you're actually hearing this kind of like tale of the mountain, which I thought was really, really cool. And that's pretty much got me a lot more hyped for this game. That shows the depth of this game. It's not just all flash and no fill. You know, it's actually has, if you hunt it out and actually give it a chance, it'll actually give you a lot more than just a regular game like this caliber would. The crew, they kind of did that with the crew with the landmarks, but you had to sit there and read. This one actually, and on this particular race, they actually told you the story and all that, and I'll probably post it up in a separate video. I didn't do too well because it was a follow mission. You had to follow, not mission, but it was a follow course. You had to follow another snowboarder, and I found myself easily passing them up. And of course, you have to follow them because they take you through the certain areas that they talk about, and you know you have to stop and wait for them. You see where you got to go next. I mean, if they've kind of fixed that to where at least the person can keep up with your pace, you know, to where you don't necessarily, they don't go faster than you, but they also don't go exceedingly slow like they did for me in the beta, then that would be cool. If they have a lot of those missions, or a lot of those courses and everything, that makes this game worth buying for me at least, and definitely has the edge over the crew. But I haven't tried out the new crew game yet, but I'm willing to try that out too. But anyway, let's get back to this. I will gotta say the wingsuit was one of the more particularly challenging things to learn. The parasail is a little more challenging too, but it's not as bad as the wingsuit. Whereas like the parasail, if you just understand that you don't really have control, then you're kind of fine. You're just guiding. But the wingsuit, you kind of have control. You kind of don't. Gravity's pulling you down, and you gotta work stuff out. And if you want to get your longevity out of it, like you gotta. There's so many things you gotta do with the analog stick and everything else for your character that it's actually pretty complicated and insane. But once you get it down to at least to like a basic fundamental, then it's actually a pretty fun thing to do. I just didn't see a lot for the wingsuit. There weren't a lot of places where you could just go on your own and jump off and get to use the wingsuit. There's only like 3 or 4 places in the beta. Whereas of course the whole mountain you can use the snowboard or the skis. And same thing with the parasail. There was not many places where you could just parasail off and it was parasail friendly. Like you could do it and it would last for anywhere from like a few seconds to maybe like several minutes, but it wasn't too well suited for certain parts of the mountain. And I hope they kind of change that up, or this is a beta, so they might have enough time to kind of tweak the dynamics of how they handle and tweak some areas to where it's a little more friendly and you actually have more choices to do those on. That would actually be very beneficial for this game. But other than that, I mean, it was actually really enjoyable. The campaign mode is a little more, or the career building mode it's very different in the sense of you're kind of working your way up to earning these sponsorships, and if you just follow the story mode, like you're actually, or if you follow the story courses, then you're actually getting more of your money's worth than on just the side courses. The side courses are pretty fun. You have just points only. You have just points only where you gotta do tricks and you gotta do other stuff. You gotta do tricks throughout the whole course and get a certain amount of points to get bronze, silver, or gold. There's the time trials, and then there's just checkpoints, which I say it's just checkpoints for parasail because it's not really a time. It is a time trial, but you're going as fast as the parasail lets you. Your speed is not affected by how hard you push yourself. Whereas a snowboard, if you push the left analog stick forward and you use the right analog stick and push your character to lean forward, obviously you're getting the fastest speed that you can, especially when you're downhill. It's insane how fast you can go. And that affects your time for those time trials. With a parasail, you just gotta cut corners and make sure you get to the checkpoints before the ghost AI does, and try to get gold that way. And that's why I call that more checkpoints than the time trial. But I mean, it had a lot to offer for this beta. The open beta is actually going to be, I think, next weekend, if I remember correctly. That it is going to be an open beta, but I know it's next weekend. They did it for 4 days, so it wasn't just a weekend thing. It's Thursday through Sunday. No, Thursday through Monday. Yeah. The 10th to the 14th. So yeah, that was all the way up until, it was up to 5 days. So it was up to Monday. Being going to a lot. So, but I would definitely recommend that if you guys want to try this game out, definitely try it out. If you just want to see the videos and see how the game kind of progresses, especially all the way up until it gets gold status to where it's going to be released and people actually do get the final gameplay of it, by all means, do that too. I mean, I understand if you're a little bit hesitant about getting this game because it's such a niche game. But believe me when I say that, it actually seems like it's going to have a lot more to offer than just be stuck in a niche franchise or a niche audience. And yeah. So, thanks for checking out this video, guys. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and tag on that race video on the end of this. I hope you guys enjoy it, and please be gentle about how bad I suck at snowboarding. I live in places where we don't get snow at all. That being said, that should also go for all the other stuff that I do wrong in most of the videos. So, thanks for checking this out, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the beta next weekend. And if not, hope I'll see you guys in the open world once the game comes out. And I'll definitely see you guys next time for another gaming video here. Take care.
That's right. I just killed him.
I am Arivi, and these are my stories. Shall we be? I am mountain, older than man and as timeless as the earth itself. In summer I offer stunning green pastures with rocky tops, filled with wildflowers and dill. But here, now, in this, the coldest of winters, I gift snow-covered peaks and landscapes filled with endless possibility. Some of you will explore white forests on foot. Others will pass through in a race to the bottom. Sometimes in sunlight, other times at night. And each time I will offer up any who pass through a brand new delight. From beautiful ancient ruins, built before your time by men and women from an era long since forgotten. To stacks of stones you call cairns, placed all around my lands, out here to mark the glorious mountain peaks and trails I offer up to those brave enough to take on my challenges. And what challenges I offer indeed. But I promise, if you can master what lies ahead out there, then I offer the invaluable as a reward. Memories. Magnificent memories. Some of you will explore me on foot, or on those awfully strange contraptions you strap to your feet, while others will take to the air and glide from my summit to the waters below. But be sure to take a moment on the way to stop and take it all in. For to pass through these glorious places without exploring the beauty I offer would be a sin. From varied landscapes to faces littered with cliff bands, to stunning couloirs and huge, beautiful, untouched pillows. There are few places in the world where you can experience all of these magical elements at the same time. And I am one of them. All you have to do is to tell me what you want and where you want to go, and I will point you in the right direction. Through lands filled with myths, magic, and stories of pioneers, voyages and explorers.
That footage is going to make for a pretty cool episode, that's for sure. Night shoots always look fantastic on camera. I'll get to work nudging the Salomon guys. See if I can wrangle a few more gigs for you while they're out here.